So here's another video just to address what exactly is eczema. Once again, I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a doctor. I am someone who has had eczema for all of their life. So what, 43 years I've lived with the disease. What exactly is eczema? There are different types of eczema, the most common being atopic dermatitis. And there are other types which we'll get into in future videos. So what is eczema? Eczema is basically an inflammation of the skin. It's where you scratch and itch your skin, end up breaking it, end up tearing it, end up with scabs, oozing, or bleeding, and then you apply steroids or apply some sort of cream to help you, whether that be steroids or immunosuppressant creams like Protopic or Elidol. So eczema is basically the inflammation of the skin, which happens from all kinds of factors or allergens, as they're called. So it could be something which is environmental, so something that's in the air. It could be diet, it could be stress, it could be the water that you drink, the water that you bathe in. But I find usually eczema happens, and it's much more common in the Western world. So I'm from the UK, and whenever I go to India, my eczema is so much better than it is here in the UK. And I find that people in India typically don't have eczema or know what it is. It's much more common in the UK, and I know the same applies for America or Australia. Again, I don't know. I'm speculating here, but I think it's a lot to do with processed foods, the hard water that we bathe in, or stress. And in places like India and other warmer climates, there is a natural array of sunshine, and it's a much more better heat for you. Where the sunshine in the UK, you burn so easily, and in India it's more like going into a sort of UV lamp. You're going to get a lot more vitamin D with less likely chances of being burnt. With eczema, it's not contagious, so people will be like, "Oh, don't touch me." No, it's not contagious, but it can be hereditary. Most people actually have eczema from childhood, like me, and they develop it very early on. Usually eczema comes alongside asthma, so I have a blue inhaler to manage my asthma. And yeah, there is no cure for eczema, which is the sad truth. It's unfortunate, but there is no cure for it. There is a lot of medicine to sort of control it, and you can see while I'm talking, I'm scratching myself, which is not ideal. But yeah, look, there's no cure for it. There are creams, steroids, moisturizers that you can use, and there we go again. I can't keep still. The moisturizers that we can use to help ease and control it, but in terms of cures for it, no, there isn't. But there is some good news, because medicine is advancing so well that there are more and more things, more and more medicines that are coming out which are going to help people with eczema. So I mentioned in my first video dupilumab and tralokinumab, along with Rinvoq. These things didn't exist just a few years ago, and now they're on the market, and you can get them on the NHS. So we are lucky to have the NHS in the UK, which is going to help us doing that, again depending on who your dermatologist is. I previously had a dermatologist who was very old-fashioned, and she did not believe in biologics or immunosuppressants and things like that, and she was like, there's no need for it, you don't need to do that, just stick to steroids and you'll be fine. I disagree respectfully. You're a doctor, you've been doing this for X number of years, but at the same time, I'm the actual person who is suffering. Please also listen to what I have to say. Like I said, in the UK, we have hard water naturally in most places in the UK, certainly the southeast. So I have a water softener installed at home, which does make a huge difference. At the same time, I don't take overly hot showers. I try to bath when I can, for around 20 minutes using bath salts, Aveeno bath solution. thing that I've actually got here. So this is what I use for the bath, which really does help. So yeah, yeah, to answer your question, or I guess you didn't even ask the question, but to address the question in the video, eczema is not contagious. Eczema is a disease. At the same time, it can be controlled in many people. So yeah, if you do want to see a certain type of video, or you do want questions to be answered, let me know. Happy to answer them.